Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and welcome to the showcase of all the cars, including all the drip feed stuff from the new Criminal Enterprises DLC. We've got all the cars that we've got in day one and all the drip feed vehicles as well. So let's just get into showing everything that we've got during the course of this drip feed that will be quite a long one actually over the next few months because there's a lot of vehicles left over for the drip feed. So just for completeness, we do have a bit of a change to how we normally do these videos where we've got the vehicles that we've actually got available. First up with the new helicopter with the Ron livery. Can't get any kind of weapons on that though. And then these are all the new cars that are available on day one for the Criminal Enterprises DLC. The Greenwood from Southern San Andreas, then the Corsita, the Omnis EGT, the Torero XO, the LM87, and the reason that the Sterling GT is there is because that gets an HSW upgrade on the new gen platforms as well. So these are all the vehicles that we've got on day one. That's what I'm going to be testing over the next couple of days, and you'll be getting the testing videos as soon as I possibly can. So yeah, you know that that's happening. You show some patience with that, but that's what we've got now. 6 vehicles, well technically 7 I suppose, 5 brand new things, 5 brand new cars, 1 helicopter and an HSW upgrade to an already existing vehicle. And then look at the size of this drip feed. Lots of vehicles that have been held back to be drip fed over the next, well, let's say 2 or 3 months. Normally how Rockstar do it is 1 vehicle will be drip fed every single week. You'll get a new release of one of these vehicles each week until all the vehicles have been exhausted really, and we've gone through everything. So these are all in the order that they're going to be released within the websites. So there's only 2 more vehicles coming to Legendary Motorsport, that's these 2, and they'll be released in order from left to right. There's going to be plenty of vehicles on Southern San Andreas Super Autos, again left to right. So this is going to be the first vehicle we get from that website, this is going to be the last vehicle we get from that website. And then we got some Benny's upgrades as well, so that's Benny's vehicles that can mix it in. So again, there will be variances. This is if Rockstar follow their normal pattern, but there will be variances that we could get 1 vehicle from Legendary Motorsport, then a vehicle from Southern San Andreas, then a Benny's vehicle, then we go back to Southern San Andreas, which would then be this one, then we go back to a Benny's vehicle, then back to Southern San Andreas, and then, you know, they could release all 4 vehicles, then we could go again to Legendary Motorsport. So they can mix it up which ones they release between each website. All we know is that the vehicles left to right are what's going to be the release order for that specific website. So we'll start with the 2 vehicles from Legendary Motorsport. The first vehicle that's going to be released from Legendary Motorsport is this one, but again it could be after sort of 6 vehicles from that collection or something, you know, we don't know. But the first vehicle that will be released on that site is going to be the SM722. This is going to be in the sport class and it will set you back $2.1 million. Obviously based on the Sterling Moss SLR, and that's kind of where the name comes from. Something that you'll notice with the names of all of these, they're very kind of obvious names and not as creative as what we've had for vehicle names in the past. But yeah, that is the first one, SM722. We don't know when that's going to be released in comparison to all of these, but it's going to be the first one on Legendary Motorsport, and we'll get that definitely before we get the 10F, which is the second and last vehicle for Legendary Motorsport for this DLC. The 10F is going to be in the sports class as well, 1.6 million, and yeah, it's kind of like, you know, a beefed up 9F, you could say, which, you know, makes sense with the name. But those are the only 2 vehicles on Legendary Motorsport. Obviously we've got 4 vehicles on Legendary Motorsport already, and these are the 2 that have been held back to be drip fed later on. Now we move on to Southern San Andreas Super Autos. So first up that we're going to get from that website is the Draugur. It's the only off-road vehicle for this DLC. It's going to cost $1.9 million pretty much. There will be a trade price of $1.4 million. We'll have to wait and see how it does. Will it be kind of similar to the Camacho or something? Or, you know, don't know. But yeah, it's another off-roader. Hopefully it'll at least be able to do something decent for off-road races. We'll find out. But that's going to be the first one that we get on Southern San Andreas Super Autos. So once that's released, then we know the next vehicle that we get on that website will be the Ruiner ZZ8. It's the first muscle car that we're going to have for this DLC, for the drift feed I should say. This will set you back 1.3 million. A lot of these vehicles have decent customization options, so that's kind of nice. There's some, and some old vehicles have been given extra customization as well, like Turismos and Torno, things like that. The Sterling's got some more with the HSW upgrade, so a lot of customization and modding options for a lot of these vehicles. But yeah, that's the Ruiner ZZ8. It's basically a newer Ruiner, and we've got also a newer Vigero coming after that. This is the Vigero ZX, again in the muscle class. It's going to cost you 1.97 million, so pretty much $2 million. And this will also have an HSW upgrade added to it as well. So for those on the new gen platforms, like the Sterling GT, like the expanded and enhanced vehicles that we got previously, you'll be able to take this to the Los Santos car meet and upgrade it to be even faster. So maybe we'll see this destroy the muscle class if it's got crazy high top speed. You know, we just had the new Buffalo STX destroy the muscle class, and this might come along if it's got a crazy high top speed from the HSW upgrades and go even faster. We'll have to wait and find out when the testing is done. As always with the testing, these vehicles are all released one by one every week. Every Thursday we'll get a new vehicle released. I'll be there to test it, make a video on it for lap time and top speed. But yeah, that's the Vigero ZX, so 2 muscle cars, one after another, maybe, depending on how they choose to release them. They might do 2 in 1 week or something like that, and that's very possible, but again, all we can tell you is the release order for each website. Next up is the Kanjo SJ. This is going to be in the Coupes class, $1.3 million, pretty much $1.4 million with a $1 million trade price option. Surprising to see that it was in the Coupes class, but interesting that it's not the Blister Kanjo SJ, it's just the Kanjo SJ. So we have the Blister Compact, the Blister Kanjo, and then this is just a straight Kanjo SJ as it's called. But yeah, Coupes class for that one. So I doubt it'll be on Previan pace, but we'll have to wait and see. And then again, another Coupe. So we went 5 years without any vehicles added to the Coupes class, and we got 1 in the last DLC and then 2 in this one. So they must have seen my video about complaining that we've got no Coupes, because now we're getting them left and right. $1.3 million for this one. This is the Postlude. Again, interesting naming choices. But yeah, this is the Postlude. It looks like it's got a lot of customization options, obviously. Could be quite funky with the customization on this one. Again, the Coupes class, 1.3 million with about 1 million trade price. So these two Coupes, they're pretty much the same sort of vehicle in terms of pricing and class. But yeah, Postlude, that'll be coming after the Kanjo SJ, and it'll be the second last vehicle for Southern San Andreas Super Autos, because the last one will be this, the Rhinehart. This is going to be in the sedans class. It's going to set you back 1.6 million, which is quite expensive for a sedan. It's an estate car, which we don't really have many of. It's kind of unique. Interesting, obviously, you know, modifications and options and big spoilers and things like that. I'm quite excited for this one. It's going to be one of the last vehicles that we get in the drip feed. Obviously, the very last from the Southern San Andreas website, but it's going to be one of the last overall. I'm kind of excited for this one. I don't know, something about it. It could be fun. We'll see if it can compete in the sedans class. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. I'll do the testing when it comes out. But yeah, those are the 6 vehicles that we've still got to come for the Southern San Andreas Super Autos website. Left to right, that's the order that they'll be released from that site. And we also have Benny's vehicles. Again, left to right is the order that they're going to be released. So, starting with the Brioso 300 Widebody. Now, Widebody is a new... Normally, Benny's vehicles get the custom tag at the end of their name, like the Elegy Retro Custom and things like that. But Widebody is a new one. So, Brioso 300 Widebody, it's in the compact class, as you might expect. It's going to set you back just over $500,000. to upgrade it, you've got to have the regular Brioso 300. You'll drive it into Benny's, and then it'll be an extra $500,000 to then upgrade it into this wide body version. I doubt it's going to do anything in the top pace in terms of beating the club. Doesn't feel like it's going to do that for compact races, but this looks like a fun little car. I really like this. The Brioso 300 is kind of meh to me, but I really like these wide body vehicles actually. Next up is the Sentinel Classic wide body. So again, you'll have your Sentinel Classic. If you take it into Benny's, you'll be able to upgrade it for $700,000 into this Sentinel Classic wide body, and it's in the sports class, just like the regular Sentinel Classic. The only problem for me with this car, I love it, and I was really excited to upgrade my Sentinel Classic into this. It doesn't have the Ron Racing livery on it, which makes me so disappointed. I really like this wide body version a lot better than the regular Sentinel Classic, but I love the Sentinel Classic because it has the Ron Racing livery, and this one doesn't. I'm so disappointed with that. But yeah, Sentinel Classic wide body. Again, we'll see how all these perform when I do the testing. Next up, we've got the Weevil Custom. That's going to be the vehicle. Again, order of release for Benny's. Obviously, Benny's has his own website, but these should be the order of release for when you can upgrade these vehicles at Benny's. And yeah, this will be after the Sentinel Classic wide body. This is the one that we saw in the trailer. It's a Weevil, but it's a Weevil Custom now. When you take it to Benny's, you take your Weevil to Benny's. The Weevil is normally a compact vehicle. This turns it into a muscle car. This is in the muscle class. The Weevil Custom. It's going to set you back pretty much $1 million to transfer your Weevil into this Weevil Custom. So that's just the upgrade cost in Benny's to get this vehicle once you've already bought and upgraded your Weevil. But it looks pretty fun. Like that is an interesting vehicle, the Weevil Custom. Looking forward to driving that one and seeing how that performs. Again, it's going to be in the muscle class, so it's not going to do anything on these top muscle cars that are just crazy, but hopefully it'll drive nicely. And then the final vehicle for Benny's is the 10F wide body. It's again in the sports class, just like the regular 10F. It will set you back $575,000 to upgrade the 10F into the 10F wide body, so it's the cheapest of all the Benny's upgrades here. But what you might notice, obviously, is that this is the last vehicle that is added to Benny's, and the regular 10F was the last vehicle that's added to Legendary Motorsport. So it's very possible that they would just add those two at the same time. You know, on the same week, they would add the 10F, and it would also be upgradable at Benny's to the 10F wide body. They are two separate models, they're two separate cars, like all Benny's vehicles are. So it's very possible that the 10F might be one of the last vehicles that we get overall. Considering it's the last on Benny's and it's the last on Legendary Motorsport, we might get all of these vehicles before we get the 10F. It's very possible. You know, the only way that we're at least going to have to wait for these three to be released, and for the Sterling Moss SM70, whatever it was called, SM722 to be released before we can get it. But they're probably going to sprinkle in some of the Southern San Andreas stuff as well. So, yeah, normally when it comes to Benny's things, Benny's generally doesn't improve the speed all that much. It's not like HSW upgrades where they get significantly faster. So the 10F is probably going to be about the same sort of pace as the 10F wide body. Same with like the Spectre and the Spectre Custom, the Italy GTB, the Italy GTB Custom. They're all very, very similar in terms of pace. So don't be expecting the wide body version to be super, so much quicker. But again, I will do the testing for both versions, the 10F and the 10F wide body. I'll take all these Benny's vehicles around and just see how they perform. But those are all the drip feed vehicles. 4 at Benny's, 6 at Southern San Andreas Super Autos, and 2 at Legendary Motorsport. So that's 12 vehicles in the drip feed. What you would probably expect is the 10F wide body and the 10F to be released at the same time. So let's say 11 weeks worth of drip feed. But it's pretty much 3 months. 3 months where there'll be a new car every week. I wish they did it in packs, to be honest. I wish they did like 4 vehicles one month and then another 4 vehicles the next month rather than once a week. But hey, that's how they choose to do it. And again, like I said, this is the order that they're going to be released in. I will be testing all these cars when they release. I'll be testing the current vehicles when they release. Well, they're already released, so I'll be testing them now as quickly as possible. I wanted to get this video up first so you can have an idea of, you know, what is still to come, so you can spend your money wisely. But maybe you want to wait, for example, for certain vehicles. But yeah, I'll be testing everything as soon as I can, so just keep an eye out for that. Make sure you're subscribed, and you can always check out YouTube memberships or Patreon if you want the testing as quickly as possible, because I always post there in text form before I even get started making the videos on these Thursdays. And yeah, those are all the vehicles that we've got. Thank you, Project Homecoming guys, for the help getting these vehicles all sorted. Nice yoga there, Benny. And if you want to see all these vehicles, they are available on GTAcars.net already. You can sort them by the Criminal Enterprises DLC and by the site that you can buy them on. Say hello to YouTube chat. So you can do all the filtering for them, and if you sort by release date, they'll also be in reverse order of when they're releasing. We've got obviously the Southern San Andreas vehicles here. We've got the Legendary Motorsport vehicles and the Benny's vehicles. They're all here. Obviously the prices aren't added yet, the release dates aren't added yet, lap times, top speeds, things like that aren't added, but most of the other information about each of these vehicles is there, because GTAcars.net is the best place to get all of your car information. We know this already. So yeah, you can go there, GTAcars.net. You can, all of these new vehicles are on. They will all obviously be getting updated as the lap times come in, as images come in, but they're all there already for you to have a look at them. And with that being said, for those who get to the end of the video, because people always complain that I don't show the backs of the vehicles, here are the rears of all these vehicles if you want to check them out. And if there's anyone who comments on the YouTube videos saying, why doesn't he ever show the backs of the vehicles? Well, you just didn't watch long enough, did you? Rear end fascists. I can't even say that, Hammer. But yeah, these are the rears of all the vehicles. Like I said, the Vigero and the Sterling GT are getting the HSW treatment, so there's only 2 new vehicles that get HSW upgrades in this DLC, but there's been a lot of old cars with new modifications added that kind of signifies that maybe they'll get the HSW treatment in the future, but that'll be in future DLCs. This is everything that's available in this DLC. So yeah, those are all the vehicles. Hopefully it helps with your buying decisions. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed and all that good stuff for the testing videos to be notified when all those go live. I will be doing that as soon as I can for the vehicles we've got now, and every day that one of these vehicles goes up, every Thursday, you'll have all the information that you need for lap time and top speed and how these vehicles perform. And yeah, like I said, check out YouTube memberships and Patreon support if you want that as early as possible. Thank you all for supporting me as much as you do. I've got a lot of work ahead of me coming from this DLC, so thank you guys for all the support. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments. Go to gtacars.net. Just have fun. And thank you guys so much for all the support as always, and I'll see you next time. Oh, I've fallen. Have I died? I think I'm okay. Ha! I'm okay. Okay, I didn't. Obviously that was a mistake. I didn't mean to fall. Okay, this can be the outtake for the video. I was just gonna go up here and end it, just like, you know, showing everything all at once, but I'll leave that as an outtake. This is only for those who stick right to the very end. I'm gonna press the button. I'm gonna press the button. Wait! Don't press it yet. Oh, he's pressed it. Oh my god, it actually did clear it off. It actually did work. It left all the cars and cleared all the tire marks. We could have had no tire marks all through that. Redo! I'm not redoing it. I'm not restarting it. I'm not restarting it. I can't believe... I mean, it was fair enough to be scared to press that button because it might have just cleared all the cars away. But, yeah, we could have had no tire marks all over the place. Oh, unreal. Oh, well. Do you know what? I'm going to leave that in the video as an outtake as well. Well, we know now. We know now for next time. If ever there's tyre marks all over the place, that button will fix it without getting rid of all the cars.